Rhythm Rock Live, we're on location tonight in the NWA Ruthless Studios, here to talk to NWA and Eazy-E, probably the most controversial rap group in Los Angeles.
At that time, all the rappers were claiming their hometowns, South Bronx, you know, wherever they may be, New York, Queens, whatever the case may be. We were from Compton.
Coming up in the ghetto, period, builds character to me. You know what I'm saying? It definitely can build character if you use it in a positive way.
When we seen, you know, regular homies from the neighborhood that was just putting down real street raps, you know, it made us feel like we could do it.
Something really special was coming out of that neighborhood. It was a fresh, really volatile time in music. I liken it to Elvis Presley when rock and roll started, to when the Beatles came. It was something really special coming out of there.
After a while, Michael Jackson didn't work. People didn't believe the hype. We didn't care. We didn't care. If they didn't feel it, with all of that trying to be shy nonsense, people weren't checking for that no more. Rap made it gritty.
I think we're successful because we're telling it like it is, and you know, that's what people want to hear because they're sick of hearing about fairy tales and stuff like that.
NWA to me was like anti-establishment.
They was bringing, you know, South Central to the forefront and what was happening and, you know, drugs and the whole shot. I mean, they was hitting another element of a society that nobody else had touched on.
They talked about being gangsters. Gangsta Gangster was a big hit. Fuck the Police was a big hit.
It's not what you know, it's what you can prove.
When I went and got NWA albums, I bought them as a fan.
You just see an all-star cast of people, of Eazy being the mastermind, Q being the rhyme writer, Dre laying down the tracks, the producer, and then you had Ren who played a supporting cast. And that just made up one of the great groups of hip-hop.
We don't tell you what to do and we'll tell you what not to do. You got your own freedom of choice.
Eazy represented, you know, the hardcore little gangster on the corner.
Don't try to hold us back because this record has cursing on it, or it said something, or you talking about raping somebody and everything.
People were selling cocaine, making a lot of money, and he was the first person that actually came out and admitted it and boasted about it on a record.
It's bullshit.
Eazy-E turned out to have some business savvy.
Eazy was a local crack slinger, okay? He made him some money, and because I was one of the few guys he knew had a studio, he wanted to get with me and get in the studio. He was not intended to be a rapper. He was going to be a financier.
Dre was producing for Lonzo, a Crew Cut Records, and the Wrecking Crew.
Dre started getting in trouble. He was going to jail for warrants on a regular basis. I'm digging in my pocket to get him out, okay? So I got to the point where I got tired of it.
And Lonzo didn't get him out of jail. Eazy got him out of jail.
When Eric got him out of jail, they cut a deal that Dre would do some tracks for Eric in my studio.
And then they hooked up and was boys ever since then.
You put the dot on your target, then you blow the shit out the motherfucker. No joke.
Eazy knew it was like a joke to him, okay? It was like, but he got so far into it, it was like, okay, I am this. I'm walking through the Carson Mall. I look up in the HQ, which is a sporting goods store and a gun store, and these guys are buying automatic, semi-automatic weapons to go on tour with. I'm like, shit, what kind of tour you guys going on, Vietnam or what?
They were selling out of the back of cars, and they were making money, and they were going to the top one way or the other.
We used to ride around in Eazy's Jeep all day and sell records to the, what they call swap meets out here.
We used to make people buy records.
How'd you make it buy it?
With a gun.
Eazy paid Lonzo to introduce him to Jerry Heller.
Jerry Heller was basically Dr. Dre and Eric Wright's manager and label head.
Ruthless started from Eazy-E. Eazy-E knew that Dre was a dope producer. He did the Straight Outta Compton album. He did Eazy Does It. He did Michelle A's album. He did the Doc's album.
Dr. Dre was one of these guys that could take this raw street sound and turn it into the kind of magic that would hit to a wide audience of kids.
They had a message that clearly was heard and felt by young people.
All over the country, they had pockets of young brothers who sold dope and had to carry 9mm pistols, who had a lot of money that could relate.
Every kid wants something that's sort of forbidden. Certainly this kind of imagery was. In fact, they couldn't even hear it on their regular radio stations.
They sold over 1 million albums. And we have to understand that with rap music, past 500,000, 600,000 albums, you go outside the black community.
You had little white kids out there that was, grew up in Pop's Country Club, and they wasn't having it. They wanted to hear NWA.
It became clear that there weren't just 10,000 kids listening to this. There was hundreds of thousands in each city.
People sat back and seen an album that sold 1 million units that was never played on radio. And I had to question myself, how does this happen? How did this happen? What went on here?
Now, when it starts making real money and it starts looking like some success is gonna come about, that's when the shit starts.
Easy and Jerry wasn't paying Dr. Dre enough money.
At that time, I was owed money, but they wasn't paying it. You know what I'm saying? I think they were trying to starve me out. As hard as you work for your money, there's at least 2 or 3 people out there working just as hard to get it from you.
I was there when Dre told me he would sell his soul to the devil for $1 million. And I swear right now, devil got to have a receipt for his ass.